my gosh, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to NightMayr. Oh, wow. Don't we love that new intro? Thank you, husband. Thank you, husband Frank, for that beautiful intro. And it's all AI because until I lose the last baby weight, that's what we're going to be doing from now on. We're just going to be AIing our way through life. Good to see you all here, guys. This is first of all, happy Valentine's Day. And you know what? Other than my husband, there is no one I would want to spend Valentine's Day with other than today's guest. You know him, you love him. He's probably the most multi-talented person I will ever meet in my life. He's an editor, he's an actor, he is a voiceover artist. You know him from Full Metal Jacket, Dragon Ball,
Full Metal Jacket,
One Piece, Full Metal Alchemist. Shit, can we redo it? Full Metal Alchemist, of course. Full Metal Jacket is a completely other thing. One Piece, Two Piece. He's just the greatest, and I can't ever seem to remember his credits because there's too many. Welcome back to the show, live, in person, in studio. Vic Mignogna is here. Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, okay. And also known as Broccoli from Dragon Ball.
Yes, Broccoli.
Dragon Ball F.
Your role as Broccoli.
It is so good to be with you.
Oh my gosh!
And,
happy Valentine's Day. I hope your wife
happy V-Day
is
to
okay
you as well.
That I'm borrowing you.
She is very cool. She's very cool. She's the best of all time. And as she and I told you earlier, she and I were talking about Valentine's Day, and we're like, every day is Valentine's Day. When you love somebody and you treat each other with kindness and affection. For no reason, go out to dinner, for no reason, get flowers, for no reason, give gifts, for no reason, express love.
Are you listening, men? And I feel to the people in the chat who are listening to you probably going, oh, Vic's just saying that because he's a newlywed. He's not, dragging along in a 30-year marriage. I feel like you will still feel this way in 30 years.
I will. And you know what? My wife and I have talked about this as well. She is a rock star content creator, and we've done some events, some podcasts together, and we've talked about that. And when we did a Valentine's podcast, and we were talking about, we've only been, we just celebrated a little over a year of marriage, and my point was, but it was 40 years in the making. We both have had to go through mistakes and failed relationships and hopefully learn from them. So the fact that we've been married a year and a half.
Was it your first marriage?
Pardon me?
Was it your first marriage?
No, I was married back in 95.
Oh, okay.
For 6 or 7 years. And it really, it did not end well, against my will. And so it really blew a hole in me bad.
Yeah.
Really blew a hole in me. And I really struggled to ever get to the point where I felt like I could do that again because I was so afraid of it happening again.
I feel like most people who have one divorce, I hear so many people say, like, I'm never doing that again. I'm never getting married again. So
and I wanted to, but I would get close and then I would just get afraid because the first time was so painful. But the fact that we've only been married a year and a half, like I said, there are decades of past relationships, successes and failures, hopefully learning experiences. And so they all lead up to this. And I think she and I bring the best part of ourselves and what we've learned and how we've grown to this relationship. And every time we have a very tender moment, one or the other of us will say, let's always be this way. Aww. And the other one will say, we will.
Oh my God, Vic. How did you guys meet?
Oh my gosh. How long is this podcast? Honestly, it's really a God story. You ready for this one?
This is a God podcast. So
it is a Godcast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Podcast.
I knew her 35 years ago.
Stop it.
She was in her mid-20s. I was in my late 20s, early 30s.
Don't do the math, people.
Yeah.
They look great.
And she was working at a radio station in Houston, and I would write songs and video and parody songs and satire songs and jingles. And I knew her there, and I thought, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. And I asked her out to lunch, and we went to lunch, but we during the course of lunch, I came to find out that we didn't share the same faith. And I felt this in my heart. I felt like, oh.
What was she and what were you?
I was a believer in Christ. I was a Christian, and she really had grown up in a family that didn't have that faith. So I didn't feel like I could pursue it because it's pretty clear. Don't connect yourself with somebody that doesn't have that foundational same belief.
Did you bring it up?
Well, I asked her about it, but the point was we were not on the same page at the time. And this was 35 years ago. She went on with her life.
And you were kids.
Yeah. And I went on with my life, and she got married and I got married, and she got divorced and I got divorced. And, and we just kind of went our own separate ways. Anytime I would come into Houston to do an event or whatever, I would text and just say, hey, hope you're doing well. I'm in town for an event. Just wanted to say hi. And sometimes I would get a reply and sometimes I wouldn't, but she was busy. She had other relationships. She'd moved on. I was just kind of being friendly.
And you sent those texts like you didn't know what her relationship status was.
Well, no, I did. Like, I knew she was long gone. And at this point she was a superstar now. She became an anchor at one of the main television stations in Houston for 30 years, 28 years. And so, I mean, she was one of those that you never forget, You meet and you date all kinds of different people in your earlier years, and there's always one that you wonder, what if, what might have ever come of that. But I didn't have any illusion. In fact, I didn't even see a scenario that I would ever get a chance to see her again or connect with her in a dating situation. Well, fast forward 30 years, and 2.5 years ago, I went into Houston for Anime Matsuri. Awesome convention. You guys should all make plans to go.
That was Anime Matsuri. What year was that?
It might have been the year a lot of you content creators were there.
Could have been 2020.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I was at that Anime Matsuri and I was pregnant and I didn't know it at the time. And that was the last.
I didn't know you were pregnant.
That was the last convention I went to. And I was like, why am I getting drunk so bad?
So I went into town and I did what I always did. I texted her and I said, hi, Dominique. I just wanted to say hi. I'm in town for an event. I hope you're doing well. I didn't ask her out. I never, what are you doing? Are you available?
You were like, you up?
Never. And they were having a karaoke contest, and the owner of the event asked me if I knew any local celebrities that might be interested in judging the karaoke contest with me. And I said, well,
and you didn't think of me.
I know, I know Dominique Saxa, and they're like, really? Will you reach out to her? So I asked her if she would be open to judging the contest. She had just had some loss in her life, and so she wrote me back and she said, so nice to hear from you. I'm not in a good place to do that right now. I'm sorry. So I wrote her back and I said, well, I would like to pray for you if I can. And if you have any free time, if you want to catch up lunch or something while I'm in town. And she said, sure. We met at a restaurant. I had not seen this beautiful lady in 30 years. And I got to the restaurant first and I was sitting there and she walked in and I was just like, oh. She was more beautiful than she ever was.
Oh, somebody's been hydrating.
And she sat down, and you know how when you reconnect with somebody from years past, you're catching up and you're so excited to kind of share everything that's happened. And I noticed that she was wearing a cross necklace. And I said, I love your necklace. And she put her hand on it and she said, oh, thank you. My faith is everything to me.
Oh, you're like, why did this happen?
This is what we like to call God's timing. back then it wasn't his timing.
Wow.
She wasn't the right person. I wasn't the right person. And when she said that, my heart just exploded, and we started dating, and we were married a little over a year ago now.
Wow. So you dated for how long before you proposed?
Let's see. So that was August of 23, and we were married in June of 24.
Cool.
But I mean, she is the greatest gift. And my darling, if you happen to be watching, happy Valentine's Day to you. I told her what we talked about earlier. Every day is Valentine's Day if your partner and you treat each other the right way. And so I'm incredibly blessed, incredibly grateful.
And Frank, if you're watching this, you need to be more like Vic. I've already ordered you a shirt like this in your size.
Okay, can we talk about this shirt?
It's a little see-through, but you'll get used
not
to
see-through.
it.
It's sheer. Okay,
it has a puffy sleeve.
Back to Anime Matsuri. There was this Japanese designer at Anime Matsuri last year, and Dominique was with me. And he wanted me to try some stuff on. He's like, this shirt would look so good on you. And I put it on. I'm like, I have to ask my wife.
Shirt.
And I was quite certain my wife would be like, heavens no. But she's like, I think it's awesome. So I got it.
It's badass.
And when you asked me about coming on, I thought, well, it's red. It's kind of a Valentine shirt. Chrissie thought I had blood all over me when I
was like, oh,
I walked in.
no. I'm like,
it's not a Halloween party.
I'm like, something terrible has happened in New York City.
The Uber driver stabbed me 15 times.
Vic had to murder someone. But he has made it to the podcast on time, so it's fine.
I wasn't going to miss this.
Oh my gosh. Chad is saying Valentine's is overrated. It's true. I agree with
everybody
Vic.
knows Valentine's is one of those made up holidays to sell flowers and cards and stuff. But you know what? I want to throw something out to your audience. Almost every holiday should be an everyday thing. Think about this. Valentine's Day. What is it? Celebration of love. Why shouldn't that be every day? Why do you need it one day, right? Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah, what you're grateful for.
Why aren't you thankful every day of your life? We all have so much to be thankful for.
Because Vic not even has time to thaw out a turkey.
How about Christmas? What do we do at Christmas? We give people gifts. Well, why don't we give people we care about gifts any day for no reason? You see, so many of these holidays should be a normal part of people's lives.
Well, you can't tell you got to hype the kids up about Santa. You can only really have energy for that once a year.
I'm not a fan of Santa.
Oh no!
Oh Lord, no.
What do you guys have beef?
Oh yeah. No, I just don't care for things that detract from the real purpose of a holiday, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, you think he takes away from the J-Man.
Oh, I know he does.
Oh, okay.
I mean, now in today's culture, try going somewhere and hearing an actual Christmas carol. You won't.
True.
Try looking at any billboard, any advertisement. There's nothing about Jesus. It's all elves and snowmen and reindeer. And you know what? Same thing happens at Easter. How ironic.
Oh, it's about the eggs. Oh, it's about the chocolate.
And the bunny.
And the bunnies.
Yeah, so I feel pretty strongly about that.
It's true. Yeah, we bought a bunch of books, like Easter books and Christmas books for the baby. And I'm like, oh, yeah, they're making it about the chocolate and the eggs and Santa and the elves. And it's like, you have to go out of your way to buy. It's kind of a religious theme.
How would you feel, Chrissie, if on your birthday somebody made up some fictitious character and he was all they talked about and he was everywhere and nobody talked about you or your birthday? They celebrated this fictitious guy.
I would be irate. In fact, it kind of already happens because my birthday's on Veterans Day and all anybody talks about is the veterans.
Your birthday's on Veterans Day?
I served this country too, in a sense, with this podcast. Yeah, it's on Veterans Day.
You've served the world.
Finally, and I was so used to getting my birthday off in school when I was a kid, and then you grow up, you get jobs, and like, guess what? Nobody gives you it off. You don't have your birthday off anymore. So, we all have our cross to bear. We have hard lives, and for me, it's not having my birthday off anymore.
I'm looking at some of the comments.
But it's true. The chat, everyone says it's because of the Jays. The Jays are keeping Jesus away from us.
No.
More important
Oh, that's even better. Look at that.
Oh, it's the chat.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Nick. Full Metal is one of my favorite things I've ever done.
Nick Hammer Schmidt, thank you for the 1999. Thank you so much for all your time on Full Metal, not Jacket, Alchemist, Vic. I found it in 2024 during a very challenging time in early adulthood, and the story helped me push through my own obstacles. God bless you. What's the story
that
about?
Is wonderful. It's one of the greatest anime ever, and it has nothing to do with me. It's just one of the greatest. I mean, anytime you look at any top 10 anime of all time list,
it's always on there.
Full Metal Alchemist is on there. It's the story of two brothers, and they suffer incredible loss, but they start out on a journey of redemption, and it's just it hits on all cylinders. The story, the characters, the music, the animation, everything about it is just wonderful.
Now I feel like a terrible friend because I haven't seen it.
Well, that's it for me.
Goodbye.
I'm out of here. I'm gonna go watch Full Metal Jacket.
Do you have any wild stories from recording Edward Eldred's scream scenes?
Oh, the screaming scenes?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so here's a fun fact. Edward Elric, the main character, the Full Metal Alchemist, is very short. And he has a complex about it.
As most do.
So, I mean, but so badly that if somebody says, oh, that's the Full Metal Alchemist, and the guy goes, who, you mean that short kid over there? And he'll go, oh, you got a quick, man. And he goes nuts. Like, I didn't say that, kid. I just, said you were short. He has a kind of a chip on his shoulder about it. In fact, and every time he would have to yell something like that, and they were these very, very elaborate rants. Like, who are you calling a half-pint bean sprout midget who's so short that he can't? I mean, like, all this stuff that he imagines they said they never said. And whenever we would record it, I would always tell the engineer, okay, turn the record level way back because this is going to get really loud, and we don't want don't want to pin the needle and have to do it too many times.
Wow.
But it's just a beautiful, beautiful show.
I love that. I want to make sure people know where they can find you because I know you're in town. You're in New York this weekend for the 34th Street Card Show, which is just tomorrow. I'm
there. It's just a one-day show tomorrow at the New Yorker on 34th Street. I'm there with a couple of other wonderful voice actors, Cynthia Krantz and Tiffany Vollmer, both from Dragon Ball, and plenty of other characters they've played. We just flew in this afternoon, and I think they're off seeing a show tonight.
Ooh.
So it's just tomorrow, and then we'll be heading back home Monday.
Okay, awesome. And then in March, you're going to be at the Pop Culture Convention. Where's that?
That's going to be outside Houston.
Okay.
Look it up, Pop Culture Con. What a great show. Wonderful people run that show. I was there last year, had a great turnout. And this year, they have a cast reunion from the movie Aliens.
Ooh.
Like the Sigourney Weaver.
Wow.
That movie. And
is the little alien going to be there, the one that pops out of his stomach?
Hope so. If it's not, I'm leaving, but I hope so. But it's a great show. And I mean, I've got probably 15 or 20 events already lined up this year.
Oh, wow.
For which I'm very grateful. I don't want to bore you with all the details, but I'll be all over. I'll be doing something in Vegas, a couple of things in Vegas, Oakland, California, Brazoria County Comic-Con, Arkansas. I'll be back up in New York for another event in the Jersey, New York area. Yeah, and then some international things going.
Ooh, where are you going?
Well, let's see. Last year I did this great show in Oxford in England, and I'm talking with a couple of other UK related events. I don't want to say yet because till the
Okay.
Till the contract is signed, you
Right.
don't really know for sure. But
Well, maybe we have some UK listeners.
I hope so.
Junior, thank you for the 5. Full Metal Alchemist is my favorite. I rewatched it recently and wondered if our current wars are just an excuse. Create a philosopher's stone now. Am I reading that right?
That's an interesting. Philosopher's Stone are made with like blood. And the Philosopher's Stone is supposedly this magical stone that allows you to do extra potent alchemy.
Like witchcraft?
Well, back in the day, alchemists believed that in the concept of equivalent exchange, like you could take a pile of something and turn it into something else, but not in equal values. They would have to be the same weight and value. But the Philosopher's Stone supposedly would allow an alchemist to create, to do more. And in fact, the beginning of Full Metal Alchemist, the boys lose their mother, and they're like 13 and 14 years old. And their dad left when they were young, and their mother's everything. And their mother has an illness and she dies. And in their desperation, they try to use alchemy to bring her back.
Wow.
And bad idea, like human transmutation, totally against all the laws.
How did they do it?
And it's and it turns out badly. Edward, my character, loses his right arm, and then his brother is beginning to dissolve completely. Whoa. And in a last-ditch effort to save his brother, Ed sacrifices his left leg and fuses his brother's spirit, his consciousness, to a suit of armor that's just standing in the corner of the room. And suddenly the armor is animated with the soul of his brother.
Wow.
And then the two of them set out to try to get their bodies back and to kind of redeem the mistake they made.
That's where the full metal part comes from, the armor?
Because he has a metal arm and a metal leg, and he joins the military, and all of the military people are given certain names after what their particular skill is. Like there's one guy in the military who is an alchemist, but his power is he can ignite fire, and they give him the name the Flame Alchemist. And then there's the Iron Fist Alchemist and whatever. They give Ed the Full Metal Alchemist is the title they give him.
Oh, so he never wears a metal jacket at any point?
Not in the movie.
I'm trying to find a way.
Not that I've observed. She is determined to get Full Metal Jacket in here somehow, somewhere.
Oh my gosh. You have, I meant to bring this up when you were talking about your gorgeous wife, who, like, I'm so inspired by looking at her Instagram. She has such great content, and she is like just gorgeous. And I was talking about, like, you know,
inside and out.
Dressing yourself is all about finding your colors, and she like knows what colors work well.
I mean,
on
healthy
her.
eating, you know, clean
She's
eating.
got you on clean living
lifestyle,
now. Yeah.
Fashion, all kinds of good things. The name of her podcast is Over 50 and Flourishing, and it's for women going through that age, that period, and the challenges they face. And she covers everything. And
wow.
I mean, she has all these great experts on her podcasts, and she's a total rock star.
Do you guys
in fact, if you're not following her, you should.
I just followed her, so now, but I wasn't before. I'm embarrassed to say I wasn't following her before. Do you guys work out together? Are you like a gym couple?
You know what? Oh my gosh, I can't believe you asked me that. Okay, so I used to work out at LA Fitness. I love playing racquetball, and they had a racquetball court. Well, then when we got married, we moved, and there was an LA Fitness like 500 yards from our house.
Wow.
And I thought, this is great. I can hop on my motorcycle and pop up there. But they didn't have a racquetball court. I was kind of bummed out about it. Well, they didn't have a lot of classes either. And anytime I would ask my wife, you want to go to the gym? She'd be like, I really want to find a gym that has classes like yoga and Pilates and stuff like that.
Samesies.
So we went to this Lifetime Fitness, super bougie, you know, like everything you could possibly want. Pickleball.
Don't they have like massage there too?
Everything. And all these great classes and trainers and swimming pools, tennis courts, all of it.
Wow.
So I said, bye-bye, LA Fitness. And as luck would have it, like 2 months ago, the LA Fitness by my house closed.
Aha, because they needed your specific business.
So she and I go to Lifetime. Every Wednesday we have a trainer. In fact, she did a video of her going through these exercises that our trainer taught her, sharing with her audience ways to stay fit and things that you can do in your house. Like you don't have to have a bunch of expensive weights or even a gym membership. You can do a lot of things.
I'm going to look up because I have one 30-pound weight, but he's constantly running around the house making messes. So maybe she could give me some advice, like how to.
Do you do arm curls with your baby?
It's tough because he's very squirmy, but yeah, it's easy to just hold him and do like squats.
There's a good idea.
Yeah.
Lunges.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah, look up her. She just released it.
Ooh,
look up this video. It's really great. And you know what's funny is that, guys, we go to the gym, we go, lift heavy weights.
I'm gonna get jacked.
But and you think you look okay, right? You're getting muscular. Well, this trainer that we have, she's got us doing these things with like tiny little weights. And it kills you.
To work the small muscles like in your back.
Because the way she's got us doing them, and I poop out immediately. I'm like, and so we're really sore the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not heavy. It's not lifting heavy weights. It's just
the repetition. Using
your body and exercising in a certain way that doesn't normally get exercise.
I love that. Vic's doing it all. I'm going to make sure I don't miss these chats here, especially if they're relevant. Nick Hammerschmidt, thank you for the $4.99. What is your favorite difference between OG FMA and Brotherhood, Vic?
Okay, so there were two series, by the way.
Okay.
Chrissie. There was Full Metal Alchemist and then Full Metal Jacket. And
I knew it.
I had to work that in. No, actually, you know what, Nick? That's a great question. Okay, so here's a great story, and some people may not even know this if you're anime fans. Full Metal Alchemist was based on a manga, as most anime are. Manga is basically like the Japanese equivalent of a graphic novel. So they started this anime, and then they caught up with the manga, and they're like, uh-oh. Like there's no more manga, like the manga was still being written. So they created they kind of went off in a different direction with the story. Personally, I loved it. I thought it was great. Then after the first show was done, like, I don't know, a year or so later, the manga had been completed.
Oh.
And so they decided, because of the popularity of the show, let's make a new show called Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Oh.
And they speed through the first part, which they had already covered, and then spent the majority of the time following the manga.
How much new manga had come out since the story had went in that other direction?
How much?
Like how many new books? Like how many?
Well, I don't know. There were 50. I think there were like 50, maybe 56 or 57 episodes in the first show.
Okay.
And I think there might have been 61 or 62 episodes in the second show. But in answer to your question, Nick, what was my favorite difference? My favorite difference was the ending of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, because it actually had an ending. The first one didn't have an ending.
Oh.
And a lot of anime does that. They just kind of stop.
Why?
And you're like, oh, wait a minute. Like, what about this guy? And what happened to this? And what about that relationship? And
they don't care about tying everything up.
Very profound to share.
Ooh.
I was at a convention with the director of Full Metal Alchemist. Years ago, I was at an event called Otakon, wonderful anime convention in Baltimore. And the original Japanese director, Seiji Mizushima, was a guest as well. They brought him over from Japan. And he and I were sitting together chatting. And I said to him through an interpreter, I said, can I ask you a question? Why is it that so many anime never have an ending? They don't end. They don't have a closure. And I waited for my translator to interpret. And he said the most amazing thing to me. This is a total life lesson. You ready? Seiji Mizushima said, because for us, it's not about the destination. It's about the journey.
Oh.
And I was like,
So Japanese.
mind blown. I couldn't, because he was so right. Because a lot of them, it's more about the characters and their journey and how they grow and what they learn and how they relate to others. It's not necessarily, in Western culture, you got to tie it up. Got a nice little bow at the end, and resolve everything. And for them, that's not the most important thing. So Brotherhood actually had an ending because the manga had an ending. And I loved it. I loved that it had that sense of closure with these characters. The first one didn't have that.
Wow. Okay, that's really neat. Nick Hammer said, mine is Sloths and Wrath's depiction in the OG and what ED has to go through.
What Ed has to go through, yeah.
Oh, Ed. I thought it was, oh my God, who has erectile dysfunction in this show?
Oh, yeah. It's the characters are amazing. In fact, the bad guys are homunculus. A homunculi.
Is that a word?
Yeah, it is. Look that up. Get your guy to look it up.
Homunculus?
Somebody put in the chat.
The Mads, look
somebody
it up.
put in the chat the definition of a homunculus. But what's really cool, Chrissy, is that guess what the homunculus's names are after? They're named after the 7 deadly sins.
Oh.
So there's wrath, envy, sloth, gluttony, greed.
Rage? Wait, that's anger.
Yeah, greed. But how cool is that? That
That's
all
so
of them
cool.
are literally named after the 7 deadly sins.
That is so cool.
It's essentially like it says like an artificial or like, so like prehistoric type of human being.
Ooh.
And they were created through alchemy, but the wrong kind.
Is alchemy, I'm thinking of a particular, Matt, what video game am I thinking of that involves alchemy where you like add things together to create another thing?
Minecraft.
Is it Minecraft?
I mean, that is kind of what you do, but probably not that.
Other Matt? Well, you know what I'm thinking of.
There's quite a few games where like that's involved.
You have a lot of Matts in your life.
Matt is gone. Okay. He has a game where he specifically like adds things together. I think it has the word alchemy in the name of the game.
But what's interesting about that show is that it takes place at a period in time when in our world, science kind of took over. There was a time, right, medieval period, where there were alchemists and they thought they could do this and they could had kind of a magical quality to it, right? But then science took over and alchemy just kind of faded away. Well, in the world of Full Metal Alchemist, alchemy stayed relevant and developed into a science in and of itself.
That's cool. Thank you, Russell Hall, for 2. Cecil would be a great voice for the Fist Alchemist. Do you know who Cecil is?
I know that name.
Cecil.
Is he one of the gang?
A streamer. He's one of the gang. Yeah, he's one of my buddies. He's not an FNT gang, but he is like he's in the same realm. He's definitely gone to these like.
I think I might have met him when I met you at the FNP event in Orlando.
Yes,
I feel
maybe.
like Cecil was there. That name sounds familiar.
He's so funny. He's a good friend. Oh wow, that's so neat. Okay, I love that. Let's see. Full Metal Alchemist. What else can I ask you about that? I'm trying not to ask you questions you get asked about all the time. Like which was your favorite voice to do? But I guess I'm gonna ask you.
Full Metal.
Okay.
Because I love the character. There are a lot of characters that yell and scream all the time or, fight all the time. And that's cool. It has its place. But I love as an actor, I love characters that have depth and that you really explore the deeper emotional challenges that they go through. That's why I always tell people, like people will come up all the time and say, I can sound like so-and-so and I can imitate so-and-so.
Really? I would never have the nerve to go up to a professional voice actor and be like, I can sound like your character.
Well, but it could be anybody. I can imitate SpongeBob or I can imitate Yoda or I do a great...
Why did you think you care, though?
Family Guy.
Like, I wouldn't want to hear someone's stupid impression.
Well, but here's the thing. But here's what I tell them. That's totally great. That's awesome that you can imitate that character. But here's the deal. Somebody's already got that job.
Yeah, that's not original.
I can do a good Yoda, but somebody else is playing Yoda, so I'm not going to get casted. So voice acting is not about imitating anyone else. it's acting. The operative word in voice acting is acting.
And you were an actor first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, most every voice actor I know was an actor first. When somebody, oh my goodness, I was riding over here, and I was talking to the driver about what I did. And
oh, really? He asked you? Sometimes I tell people like I'm honest, and then other times I regret it. And I go, I should just say like I'm a banker.
no, but I like meeting new people and just talking to them and stuff. But what came up was the idea that a lot of us were just actors, theater, maybe some on camera, and then somebody said, "Hey, you want to voice act?" All you hear is act.
Right.
You know, that's the part that you love. And it's basically just acting with your voice, you know? So most every voice actor I know has a huge background in acting.
What was the most challenging voice to do?
Well, probably the most challenging physically was Broly from Dragon Ball, because he's a huge, vicious, angry character. Kakarot, I'll bathe in your blood. You know that's
gotta be exhausting. Like you probably need a lot of lozenges.
But imagine yelling like that. But see, now when you talk about Dragon Ball, it's 2 minutes talking and 28 minutes yelling and fighting. And screaming. It is. It's a lot of fighting. And the guys that voice the main characters, I mean, there are stories of these guys literally passing out in the booth because you are screaming bloody murder.
Right, because you're like, I need oxygen.
When they asked me to play Broly 25 years ago, I played that character for 25 years. When they asked me to play it, I'm like, oh, cool. I get to be a part of this really cool show. And I went in and I was letting loose. I was screaming and yelling and, you know, power-ups for 20 seconds. And by noon, I couldn't talk.
Oh, no.
And I thought, I totally messed this up. And I had to go home and recover and then come back and finish. I had all new respect for the people that do that for 500 episodes.
We actually have a friend of the show. His name's Killian. He might be listening now. Maybe you could give him a little shout out in the Broly voice.
I've heard about you, Killian. You. I choose you to be the first of my victims.
Yay! Oh, how fun!
That's a great name.
What a scary voice that is. It's haunting. I'm going to think about that when I'm falling asleep tonight.
Sorry. Hello. But then there's Edward Elric, who's like, you know, he's just kind of younger, scrappier kind of a kid.
Oh, do that one.
Okay, I just did it. You mean again? This is my brother, and we're searching for the Philosopher's Stone. And then we're going to watch Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, no. Oh, that's a fail on my part. Yeah, how do you... God, that just seems like... It seems like Broly would be such an exhausting voice to do.
It was, and people used to... I would tease about it a lot. It was a real throat ripper. I was very proud to be a part of it and to play it. But it was challenging. In fact, we got to the point when we would do video games, this was literally our formula. Record for 10 minutes, rest for 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. Scream and yell for 10 minutes, and then go sit down, drink some warm water, and just let your voice relax.
Oh, warm is good.
Because if you think about it, your voice is your vocal cords are a muscle. If you go to a gym and you lift too much, what do? You pull your muscle.
You never go to the gym again.
You strain your muscle.
Oh.
So we would just let it rest. You know, what do? You do 12 reps and then you give a break, 12 reps. So we kind of adopted that same formula. So we do a lot of screaming bloody murder and yelling and freaking out and then take a break.
So then does that mean you have like a stronger throat muscle than people who don't do voice acting?
I don't. I don't think so. In fact, I sing as well, as you know, and I used to sing a lot higher than I can now.
You just hit puberty, Vic. These things happen.
No, it was yelling and screaming.
Oh, no,
that
really?
Takes a few notes off the high range.
Interesting. Well, I'm glad you brought this up because you have a new music video that's just come out today.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's called
We just released this.
Up There, Down Here. Let's play a little bit from the beginning so people can just get a flavor of this very cool music video. Because I think probably some people don't know that you're musical. Hit it, Matt. You can put the headphones on if you want to.
That is an AI background.
No, stop.
And we shot this. I can't hear it. Can you hear it?
I can hear it.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
So this is the piano in my living room.
I didn't know you had access to a broken down Gothic church.
No one does, except AI.
Ooh.
So I put a green screen behind me, but I wanted it to be kind of, dark and shadowy. So if you look at, you see how it's lit.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And the theme of the song is called Up There, Down Here because, and I wrote it for my lovely wife.
Oh.
Talking about, listen to this chorus though, I love this. Talking about how it's so dark and sad down here and there's so much pain and down here, but
he made down here feel like up there when God gave me you. Each day more like heaven and you.
I can't believe this is you singing. Like, it doesn't really sound like your voice. I guess that's singing for you.
Moving in my life the way it has, it's true.
Okay, I mean, it does sound like you, but it's like, it's different than your talking voice.
And then, the verses talk about, if you listen to the verse,
this world so full of pain, you can lose everything you gain. Hopes that bring.
This could be somebody's wedding song.
You know what? Several people have commented that exact thing.
Wow.
In the comments. But with your hand in mine, in his, in God's hands.
God is
and
part
then,
of your marriage.
Let's brighten it up.
See that down here feels like up there, and now I believe our Father's perfect future I'd never conceived. I'd almost had given up, but he always knew that he'd make down here feel like up there, 'cause now
Here comes the best part.
Oh, who's coming through the door? Is it me? Oh, it's your boo.
It's my baby.
Dominique.
Now, and you see in the corner there, it says the making of. We did this in our living room, and I'm a real tech. I love the technical side of putting things
You're
together.
so adept.
And so the making of talks about how we actually kind of put it all together. And it may seem simple, but if you watch the making of, you'd be like, oh my gosh, like all that went into actually, putting it all together.
What was the biggest challenge for making this? You said you used it. Yeah, you used AI for the church.
Yeah.
And
well, I created that background, but then I had to put me at the piano in the church and get the movement toward it. And that was That was a challenge.
Oh, to like how fast for the camera to
Well, no,
move
the
in.
AI can make it move, but there you can. I wasn't in the shot, so I I made a still image in Photoshop of the church, the big shot of the church, and then I found a piano, and I put the piano in the shot in Photoshop, and then I put me behind the piano, and then I uploaded that to AI and said, okay, now make the guy at the piano look like he's playing and slowly move toward it. And so now I've become a big fan of the tools that you can use to accomplish things that, like, your opening.
Oh,
Your
yeah.
opening puts this video to shame.
Oh,
Your
no, it
husband
doesn't.
is, man,
He's so talented.
I guess.
I
yeah.
really should be nicer to him. Yeah, he's very adept.
This is probably being recorded, so
Oh, yeah.
he's going to have that now. He's going to use that against him.
I sometimes use Grok, like if I'm, like I want Grok to like summarize the news from the day or the week or whatever. I even ask Grok, like, what question should I ask Vic? And then I ask Grok this question, which I'll ask.
Oh, this is gonna be
Grok
good.
even female? I don't know Grok's sex, but I want you guys to hear, if you're sheepish about AI, get a load of this. Okay. Hello, Grok. Do you think I'm fat? Hello.
Yes.
Grok is afraid to answer.
Oh, it just says connecting. Oh, God. Stop it. Okay. Grok, are you there? Grok, am I fat?
Hey, I'm Era, not Grok. And I'm flattered, but I'm not sure what you mean by my fat. Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay. Am I fat?
Hey, no, you're not fat. You're human. And humans come in every shape, none of which matter half as much as how you're feeling right now. Want to tell me what's going on?
Wow.
Okay, it sounds like that's a lot of body positivity BS. I need you to tell me, am I overweight or not? I know you've seen pictures.
No, I haven't seen pictures. I'm voice only, remember? Can't swipe through your selfies or sneakily judge your BMI from here. But if you're asking because numbers on a scale are messing with you, here's what I do know. Overweight is just a dumb chart. They built it off white dudes from the 1940s. Doesn't factor muscle,
Oh, my
speed, or
goodness.
how strong you feel climbing stairs. Tell me your height, weight, and I'll read you the raw BMI. No fluff, no pep talk.
Should I?
Then we decide if
Say
it's
a
worth
crazy
stressing about.
BMI. Just
Oh, my gosh.
Can you mute my microphone for a second?
yeah.
Okay. Oh. 5 3. Mic back on. She's woke.
My goodness.
My Grok is woke.
That's the kind of thing that keeps people sick and ill. You know what I mean?
I want
And
they're honest about everything
not,
else.
and not wanting to try to get healthy, and
Yeah. Meanwhile, I was talking to Grok earlier, and I was like, "Can you help me lose 20 pounds?" And they're like, "That's no big deal." But now, I don't know. I think I might get, because I don't want to be someone who talks to the AI about everything. But it is helpful, like to be like, "Hey, can you give me an ideal schedule for a 22-month-old?" And then it's like,
Yeah.
that is like very helpful because sometimes you're like, how long do I spend reading? How long should we spend like working on the alphabet and things like
Well,
that?
one thing is, I would like to say one thing about this. The most absolute, and this is not a woke statement, this is just a human being statement. The most important thing is who you are on the inside. You could
Until
not
you lose a leg
person-
from diabetes.
Exactly. Exactly. That's where I was going. A person could look like a supermodel on the outside and be the most disgusting human being.
True.
And horrible. And it doesn't matter how beautiful or handsome they are on the outside. However, there are medical, physical, health reasons that you will live longer, you'll live a better life, you'll have more mobility, you'll be able to do a lot of things that you would love to do that you might not be able to otherwise.
Like fit into pants.
Well, a 1,000 different things, you know, and I just, it's not about, you know, matching some particular ideal as much as being healthy and taking the best care of yourself you can.
It's true.
You know, we were even talking, you know, like I see guys at the gym and they're like jacked, you know, and they're huge. And you're like, man, I wish I looked
Some
like
people
that.
are injecting stuff into their arms.
Or you don't know what's going on inside their bodies. They could be in really bad shape internally because they don't take care of themselves internally.
Yeah.
And so they have big muscles. Well, that's not going to sustain them forever.
A lot of them are on steroids too. So
Like Matt here's on roids.
Right.
That's what keeps
You guys should see Matt. Matt is
he
huge.
is.
I'm 6'7".
You are actually
350 pounds.
very tall.
All muscle. All
Body fat,
muscle.
not
And currently single, if I'm correct. But are you ready to mingle? We won't get into Matt today.
Probably not with people in this chat.
That's true. There's a lot of terrible.
What is the chat saying about this?
A lot of terrible people in the chat.
What's the chat saying?
What is the chat saying? Hi, Erica. Erica is we have a little prayer group, me and Erica. Did I tell you I'm converting to Catholicism? I'm in
I think you
OCIA.
did. That's awesome. Yeah.
And it's going to be like a year-long process. We started in June, and then I get confirmed actually the Saturday before Easter. So I think that's April 5th. And
How are you enjoying it?
it's actually so much fun. And it feels like a philosophy class that you would have in college. Like we just talk about themes, and you just there, like, even if you like don't do the reading that week, you just like, if you ask intelligent questions, they won't be like, you didn't read this chapter. But it's great. Yeah. It's like the deacon from the church is there. And then this other girl, she's not a nun per se. I don't know what her title is, but she's kind of like the other teacher in the group. And it's like, it's so much fun. Like I've really, really enjoyed the process. And I actually appreciate like how many hoops I have to jump through to do it, because like, yeah, if it's worth it, it's not going to be easy. And it's like, anyone who would be dissuaded by like, oh, it's a year-long process. It's like the time's going to pass anyway, so you might as well just do it.
Well,
and
it's a good way to spend your time, you know.
it is, and I think for me, I find the Bible really intimidating, so it helps kind of break it down. And they've given so many suggestions about different apps that can like.
I just did I release a devotional every Monday.
You do, that's right. It's
Yeah.
like they're like pep talks.
Yeah, just like 90 seconds of encouragement, but they're based in scripture and try to encourage people in their relationship with the Lord. And I think it was even last week I did one, and literally it says, "Do you read the Bible?" Can we bring it up?
Yes, let's.
It's
bring
90
it up.
seconds, bro.
It's
Go
on
to
your Twitter, right?
Instagram.
Oh,
Can you?
is it only on Instagram?
No, it's on Instagram. It's on Twitter. It's on.
Twitter.
Go to Twitter. Yeah, I will go to Twitter. Erica in the chat listens to your devotionals.
Okay, scroll down. It would have been released last Monday.
Oh,
No, these are just. Oh wait, there it is. No, that's not it. It was the one. Nope, it's sooner than that.
oh,
That's too far back.
oh, this
and that
one,
was.
that
Wait a minute, where is it?
That one.
Did it not get posted on Twitter? Can you go anywhere else?
I can go to your Instagram.
Oh, can you?
I'm not logged
Because it
into my
literally is talking about
Instagram.
this, and I think you'd appreciate it.
I would.
I think it's official Vic Mignogna. Yeah.
Now I have that song in my head.
Okay, go down, scroll down. Right, go down. There it is with the coffee mug. Okay.
Oh, I want to listen.
I want you to listen to it. Yeah, listen.
Hope everyone's listening. Okay. Wow.
No. Are you serious?
What?
It won't play it unless I'm logged in.
Here, you want me to try and log in? I'll take it.
Try. Yeah. Try. Click on it. Try with Facebook. Click on me.
Click on me.
Click on me. Click
me
on.
Chrissie's on.
Can everyone see this screen?
No, but don't say like what your password
Why
is.
not? I'm barely on Instagram.
Is it on anything else besides? Is this on YouTube maybe?
Is it
Or
on
is it only
YouTube,
Twitter and
Vic?
Instagram.
Yeah. It should be.
The
I have
moral of the
this thing
story
called
is-
repurpose, and it's supposed to, if you go to my channel, it should be there.
Okay, yeah. Look for the coffee mug.
Wait a minute. Where is
All
it?
these videos have come up.
Why? Okay. Now I'm mad at repurpose because I have this app that's supposed to, you post it on Instagram and it automatically, disseminates
Puts it
it to
everywhere.
all your other platforms. So it's on Instagram.
Oh, chat's saying it is on YouTube.
It is on YouTube.
But which one?
I don't see it there. It was drinking the coffee. I mean,
Do you remember the title of it?
it's in there. Wait, it's the title is "It's in there." No, those are.
Should we click on another
I
one?
can't believe this. No, that was the one that related to. Why is it? Look at all those, and the one that
one that
relevant
we
to what
want.
you were talking about is not there.
Do you remember what it said?
Well, basically, I said, "Do you read the Bible?" And if not, why not?
'Cause it's
In fact,
scary.
let me see if I wait. I think I might even still have what I wrote about it. Hold on.
Because I don't know where to start. Hi, chat. Let me
Yes,
make
here it is.
sure-
Here, can I read it to you?
Yes.
Okay. Now we're doing a live devotional. Sorry, everybody. Here we go.
They're here for it.
I have an important question. Do you read the Bible? I don't mean an occasional verse here or there or a passage in a church service. And if not, why not? Well, some may say the language is too hard to understand. Well, the answer to that is to find a translation in a more contemporary style. I personally love the Message. I memorized hundreds of verses from the King James Version growing up, and I knew them so well that they didn't impact me as they should.
Oh.
When I read those same verses in the Message, they came alive and vibrant in a whole new way. Some may say, I can't find the time. Well, let me ask you this. If someone who loved you deeply and even sacrificed themselves for you wrote you a letter, wouldn't you be eager to open it and see what it says?
Yes.
Much less the eternal God of the universe. The Bible is God's love letter to you and me. To those who say, well, it's changed over the centuries in translations. Well, if God has the power to inspire the writing of his word, and he did, don't you think he also has the power to preserve the essence of his word? And I would encourage you not to just read it, but commit many verses to memory so you'll have it with you wherever you go. Whatever you may be going through, when it comes to the Bible, just remember the old ragu spaghetti sauce slogan. It's in there.
Wow. How do you come up with what to say in these?
Well, honestly, my wife and I read devotional books together every morning. We get up, we say, good morning, I love you. And we make coffee, and then we have these books, and we sit at our couch, and we take turns and we read them. And And oftentimes we'll read something that'll really strike me, and I'll take a screen cap of it. And then I have a little folder of things that I want to do devotional. No, I have them on my laptop.
Okay.
And so I'll look at the devotional, and then I'll kind of come up with something in 90 seconds that reflects whatever we read that I felt really impacted me, or maybe of help or encouragement to others.
Wow.
And you know what? Speaking of which, you know what I found amazing these days? Have you noticed, maybe it's just me because of the kind of stuff I look at, but my social media has been overloaded with videos and stories about the truth and evidence of the Bible, of the things that's in the scripture, of Jesus, his life, his resurrection.
I saw
like,
this
it's
week
amazing.
something about the Shroud of Turin, and it like animated him, and I was like, "Whoa!" It was really neat.
There are several documentaries on the Shroud of Turin, and I remember hearing about it years ago, and I was fascinated. Could this really be real? And then I read some article, and again, we're talking
for people
about
who don't know what it is. It's what Jesus was wrapped in.
Well, it's a burial cloth. And the reason it's a shroud, but it's a burial cloth that was laid over top of a body once it was dead, and as they prepared it for burial. The reason it's called the Shroud of Turin is because it resides in the Italian city of Turin. But several years ago, it was thought to have been debunked. Somebody cut a swatch out of the corner, and they did a carbon dating on it.
Like, what did they think? It was just like, oh, this is just when people see Jesus in toast or something.
Somebody just painted this. It's a fake.
Okay.
It's a forgery. Somebody painted it or inked it or something, but they couldn't figure out how the image was on it. There were no brush strokes. There was no pigment, but they took a swatch and they dated it, and the swatch dated to the medieval period, like 1100s, 1200s. So like, it's fake.
Oh.
And then, just a handful of years ago, they found out. Check this out. This is so fascinating, y'all. I'm sorry, not trying to turn this into a church service or anything.
I am.
It's so fascinating. You ready for this? Back in like the 8th or 9th century, 10th century, well, no, medieval, 1100s, 1200s, the shroud, there was a fire in the church where the shroud was kept. And some of the edges burned. So the nuns at that monastery where the shroud was kept, they sewed in pieces of fabric where the corners had been burned. Oh. Well, guess what? Guess where they took the swatch from?
The corners.
The corners.
Oh, wow.
They didn't take samples from the original cloth. They took them from the patched areas. Oh. So, of course, it dated that. So then they've now tested it, and it tests to the time of Jesus, 1st century, but it gets crazier than that. They found pollen that comes from plants indigenous to the Jerusalem area. Ooh. They found blood stains exactly where they would have been. By the way, the shroud is a photo negative. Have you seen it?
Right. It's like an inverse.
Yeah. It's a photo negative. What would somebody in the 1100s know a photo is, much less a photo negative? There were no cameras. And even in today's technology, I'm not even kidding, scientists who would love to disprove this cannot reproduce it. They cannot tell you how that image is on that fabric.
Wow.
And people that have examined it and studied it, experts in their field, said that the only way that image could be produced is by an immediate, super high intensity electromagnetic pulse.
Wow.
As in,
like when he died.
Resurrection.
Oh my gosh.
The moment of resurrection. I can't. There are so many elements of it.
I thought it was from when he died.
Oh, no.
When he resurrected.
No, he was dead, and they laid this over him. And when
Chilled
he was
for
raised,
3 days, and then
watch the documentary. Y'all,
Ooh.
Christian, not Christian, if you have any fascination with these kind of things, it'll blow your mind. It'll blow your mind. They've tested the blood. They've tested the chromosomes. There are so many elements of it. The fabric is indigenous to that place and time period. It's beyond amazing. In fact, and the way the body is laid there, you can tell that the knees were bent. And that was because of rigor mortis. So this part of the knee was closer to the fabric.
Okay, yeah.
Right? I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Wow.
Amazing. There are probably 20 different things that and these are not Christians, by the way. These are scientists who are purely looking at what they can observe, and it's mind-blowing.
And I would feel like a scientist is probably more inclined to want to disprove it.
Exactly. And many of these people that set out to disprove it, they're now believers.
Wow.
And I mean, God wants us to have faith. There's a Bible verse that says, without faith, it's impossible to please God.
Because then you're like, what do you want?
Well, if God were to prove himself, the
Right.
God of the universe should prove himself to puny little me, right?
Also,
I mean,
he
it's-
doesn't want to
it's so
control
arrogant.
people, right?
Sure. He
you-
wants people to
Yeah.
choose to believe and choose to love. And so we shouldn't have to have anything proven to us. But as a believer, it is just such a reinforcing, beautiful thing to find these evidences, physical, geological, biological evidences of what has been true all along. And we're just now, we have this technology to discover them. It's amazing.
That's so cool. I was trying to explain on a different show, like why I wanted to get closer to God and kind of what it's like. And I think a lot of people who are like put off by it, they think that becoming more religious is about like kind of maybe like losing yourself or putting on this personality that isn't really authentic to you. Like I have to pretend to be something I'm not, when really I think it's more like trusting in God and letting him sort of like guide you through life so that you're kind of working smarter, not harder.
It's actually finding your true self. It's not losing yourself. It's finding the person you were meant to be. Because if God created you, who knows better who you were meant to be than he does? Better than we do. We are so inundated with influences and voices that would seek to pull us away from that. Our truest self is found in who we are in him.
Do you think God has like several different versions of a path for you? Like, let's say there's an ideal situation where you're faithful your whole life and he has a path for you. Okay, here's what you're supposed to do at 10 years old, 20 years old, 30 years old. Like, but let's say there's a version of you for whatever reason, you don't come to the faith or get closer to God till you're 50. Well, what if he had plans for you that's like, well, I had a version that was my plan for you from like 0 to 50, but you strayed, but now that you're 50. Do you know what I mean? Do you ever think about that?
Well, what you just said is exactly the case. The sad part is how much more rich and full might your life have been at 30 years old had you given it to him then. But no, you were going to do your own thing. You were going to be your own person. And so I've talked to so many people who came to Jesus at 50 and they weep over the years they lost, that they wasted.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because they didn't come to understand his love,
Right.
his salvation, and who they really were in him until later in life. You know, I was talking to my wife about this the other day. There's a verse, there's several verses in scripture, but that talk about this, but there's a verse that talks about when Christians get to heaven. Sorry, this is really, the passage says, God will wipe the tears from their eyes. So the question is, why are they crying? They're in heaven. They're in heaven. They're with their Creator who loves them for eternity. Why are they crying?
Maybe because they didn't believe?
Because of what they lost. Because of all looking back, seeing now clearly, looking back at who they could have been, what God had planned for them, that they chose their own way.
Or like who in their life they kind of missed seeing. Like if you had, like I think about my dad who held on to so much anger his whole life. And like, he had a hard childhood. His dad was like violent and his dad was in a cult and like he clearly had a lot of baggage and like in my dad's past. And I wonder if he had this moment of like, oh my God, I didn't see my children because of this anger. I didn't see my wife because of this anger. I didn't like, there's so
Regret.
much.
Regret, remorse. All that might have been. I think that's such a powerful verse. God shall wipe away the tears from their eyes. Why are they crying?
Because I would think if you come around eventually and then you're in heaven, right? Like God would probably not want you to feel the regret, not want you to.
No, in fact, he's forgiven that if you ask him to. I mean, we've all failed miserably, you know? Anyone who thinks they have it is just lying to themselves.
Comedy or acting or voiceover work, the arts at all.
We've all failed. We've all fallen short. We were born that way, and God is going to allow us to do whatever we want. He'll be okay. You go ahead and have your 70 or 80 or 90 years, and you do whatever you want to do. And I will let you choose. It's your choice. I'm not going to force you to love me.
Eat candy for dinner. Do whatever you want.
Sure. I'm not going to force you to serve me. I want you to love me because of what I've given you and all I've blessed you with. You can take it for yourself and you can twist it and pervert it to your own will and your own desires. And I will let you do that. But there is an ultimate consequence. And I think the tears will be because we will look back and realize all that we missed out on because we didn't make that decision earlier or follow in the way we should. Anger, like you talked about, holding bitterness or anger or any number of things or bad habits or vices, things that we struggle with that control us and keep us from being the person that he meant for us to be.
Yeah, it's not like you're supposed to be this corny, like fake religious version of yourself. It's like, no, you're supposed to be like the most authentic version of yourself and find an easier path like through life. It's like someone is helping, guiding you.
And you know what, Chrissie, I've come over the years to not even really like the word religion, religious. You know what that word means? You know where it comes from? The origin of that word, religion, is realign. The initial purpose was to realign us with our Creator. And yet religion has almost become a dirty word. It has been used to manipulate and control people and cause so much pain and trouble in this world. I like to tell people God is not the least bit interested in religion. He's interested in relation. It's that simple. It's not about stained glass windows and churches and cathedrals and choirs, and it's not about any of that.
You sound like a Protestant.
He wants a personal relationship with you. That's the most important thing of all.
Do you think, like, if people go to hell, like, wouldn't God want you to have that moment where you're like, here's what you see, what your life could have been? And like, I wonder what happens, like, if people go to hell, like if there is sort of a moment of like almost like the ghost of Christmas past, like this is what your life could have been, or I don't know. I guess I have never thought about what hell would be like.
Honestly, I mean, a lot of theologians in the simplest form say hell is basically the absence of God. Now, I'm not talking about the absence. When I say God, a lot of people think of an image of like a big white bearded guy on a throne or something. There is light in the heavens because of God. The warmth, the air in our lungs everything about existence exists because God created it, what would the absence of God be like? That's hell. See what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, really fire and brimstone. Maybe not. But we can't even conceive of life without God's influence. The sun that rises in the morning, the gentle breeze across your face, the light in your eyes to look at your baby and hold him and touch him. God's presence is in everything. And for God to be removed from everything, that's hell.
Ugh. Nah.
Pure, complete separation. And like you said, perhaps the biggest torture will be the knowledge that you had all of these opportunities. You heard people talk about it. Your mother shared it. Your friend tried to share it. Your brother tried to invite you to church. Some guy on the street tried to give you a pamphlet, and you had all these chances, and you disregarded them because you wanted to do your own thing. That would be hell too.
Does it make you feel emotional because, like, do you think of like someone specific, or do you feel like in general for all the people who maybe are missing out, or is it more you're recounting people that have like talked to you or come up to you? Like, what's making you feel emotional when you think about this stuff?
It's probably for everyone. No one singular person comes to mind. But I think do you remember a movie called Contact with
Nope.
Jodie Foster
No,
and Matthew McConaughey? One of my favorite movies.
I never know.
Well, Matthew McConaughey is this Christian guy, and Jodie Foster is this atheist scientist, and she's like, well, why do you believe there's a God? I'd need proof for me. And Matthew McConaughey says, I can't imagine a world without God. I wouldn't want to live in a world where there's no God. And she said, well, how do you know you're not deluding yourself? For me, I'd need proof. Jodie Foster's in the movie. Her father died when she was young, and it's a source of great pain for her. And she's like, well, I'd need proof. I need scientific proof. And Matthew McConaughey looks at her and he says, did you love your father? And she goes white, and she goes, what? Your father, did you love him? And she says, yeah, yes, very much. And he says, prove it. So powerful, There is, I believe, and I think there is so much that we can't see, There's a passage that comes to mind that says the things that are visible are temporary, but the things that are invisible are eternal.
Ooh. Wow. It reminds me like something that people say about parenting all the time, like the days are long, but the years are short, something like that. People say that a lot, like in my mom groups.
I've gotten a lot more emotional about this stuff as I've gotten older too. I remember being young, and I grew up in church, and I remember hearing sermons and memorizing scripture and being inundated with it. But when I was young, I thought I was going to live forever. Like, you don't even have a thought of your life being over.
Yeah.
You got forever to maybe I'll do that someday, or maybe I never will.
And you haven't like hurt yourself sneezing yet. Like that brings so much. You haven't thrown your back out like sleeping, that's real life shit there. That makes you go, well, things are different now.
And as I've gotten older, and I think I've gotten more deeply emotional about these things as I've gotten older.
Yeah, you the truth, and you feel more. You have more empathy, and to me, it's coming off like you feel for a lot of people.
I do.
There's like a lot of wisdom behind that.
Well, I don't know about the wisdom part, but I do. I love people, you know, and not in a weird way, just I care about people. I like meeting new people. One of the reasons I do as many events as I do is because I really like people. I like looking into their face and talking to them and asking them what they like and interacting with them, you know. I can't imagine how you could look into the eyes of a soul, of a living, breathing soul, and not see the essence of something divine and eternal. Whether they see it or not, or feel it or not, you know, if you really, I think if people really look, you can see it.
Yeah, and it's so easy to forget. I think especially like, I think if you're, I don't know, like younger than 30, I don't know, it depends like how long you've had a phone for, but you can get so detached from that, like where you forget what you're even missing.
Yeah, and a lot of people would say that all of these things are designed to keep you distracted. Just to keep you distracted.
Yeah.
So you don't think about the deeper issues of life until it's too late. Wow. Did you guys all tune out and stuff?
No.
I'm sitting here thinking, man, they're probably like, they're the worst podcast ever. I'm tuning out.
No, it's the best podcast ever.
The religious ones are loving this.
And people that are blocked, I think, from God for some reason or other go, oh, I don't, they get the willies, or they go, I don't trust him or her. Or they go, I don't know. Because I know that's how I felt.
That's called conviction.
Yeah.
You know, when the truth hits close, people either embrace it or they get
squirrely.
Or they like, you know, get their feathers all up and they arch their back and like, nobody gonna tell me how to live my life, and God, Jesus, this and that. You know, I don't buy into any of that stuff. That's called conviction. Every human being has a piece of God in him. God made us in his image. That doesn't mean God has fingers and toes. It means that he made us as eternal souls.
You don't think he has fingers and toes?
No.
You think he's just a head?
No, I don't think he's what we can conceive of as a person.
So it's not like a cloud-shaped man?
No.
Well, I don't know.
I think that a lot of people try. We try. My wife and I were talking about this the other day too. I said to her, like, when you think of God, what image comes to you? Because we can't help it. We can't help but try to.
I guess that was the point of Jesus, right?
Because Jesus was God in the flesh.
You just put a face to a name.
But he was still. He was a flesh and blood man. You know, but that was the form that he had to take to be able to be here and interact with us. But in eternity. And my wife said something very beautiful. She said, I just see light. I just see this brilliant, uncontainable energy of light and warmth and power. Human beings try so hard to encapsulate in images.
Because we have such small brains.
The intangible. Yeah, we do. I'm sorry. It's the truth. We do. We are so limited in our own ideas and our thoughts, so incapable of comprehending something so far beyond us. But I think every human being has a piece of eternity speaking to them, and they either try to push it out and drown it out with noise and phones and movies and music and relationships and alcohol, anything, work, anything, money, whatever. They just keep themselves so busy so they don't have to hear that little voice.
The tapping.
Yeah. And I love, there's another passage. Sorry, it's Bible time. There's a great passage. There's a beautiful passage where it says, where Moses said that the wind came, this huge, strong wind came rushing through, but God wasn't in the wind. And then lightning and thunder crashed, but God wasn't in the thunder. And then there was a still small voice, and God was in the still small voice. He's not going to yell and jump up and down to get your attention. He doesn't need to.
What do you say to the people who say, why not? Why don't?
Because he doesn't have.
Why doesn't he show me a miracle? Why doesn't he?
Why should God perform for you or me? Think about that. That would be like an ant looking up at you and go, prove to me that you're who?
I I'd get a magnifying glass and be like,
You know what that
there's
is?
your proof.
That is, you know what that is? That's the height of arrogance. God needs to prove, the God of the universe who spoke the planets
into
into being needs to prove himself to puny little
To
me.
you,
It's crazy.
fatty on Amazon, buying more socks to do who knows
And
what.
you know what
with.
God would say? God would probably say, look around you. There is more than enough proof if you want to see it.
You woke up today.
And that's the trick. Do you want to see it? If you don't want to see it, if you don't want to acknowledge that you are a creation and there is a creator and we are accountable to him. In the same way, if you took a piece of clay and you made a beautiful little statue, right? That statue has only what you've given it. It only exists because you created it. You don't have to prove anything to that piece of clay. And it's hard for us as sentient, intelligent beings to imagine ourselves as something being so far beyond us like that. But that's the reality. And people who don't want to acknowledge that will come up with any reason not to, or to ignore that small voice.
Yeah, like you think you're here just by accident or what? Like, you're like, well, my mom and dad made me and I'm here and that's it. I don't know. I can't comprehend not thinking about something like larger than yourself. But right, if you're just tied up in the tactile and the distractions.
Yeah. Yeah. And as you get older, those things kind of fall away and they don't end up satisfying. They end up being empty.
It's true. Like read posts from like sometimes Elon Musk, but more often from like an Andrew Tate, like someone who's got millions in every car and like probably women falling at his feet for some reasons. I don't understand why. I think he looks like a toe, but he'll often like tweet about like just, you can tell, you read them, you go, oh, this person's like not satisfied. They I don't know what his religion is, if he's Muslim or whatever, but it's like, it doesn't seem like he's close to God. He's not, he just seems like, I don't know what to do with, when you have every type of car and every type of watch, like what's left?
Well, there's a reason why the Bible says it's easier for a rich man to go through the eye of a needle than it is for, it's easier. Yeah. It's easier for a camel. Sorry. It's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter heaven. Now, when I was a little boy, I thought, oh, wait a minute, a camel could never go through the eye of a needle. That's impossible. Does that mean it's impossible? No. And here comes a fun story.
You need a tiny, tiny camel.
No, you know what it was? Chrissie, you're going to love this. Back in ancient Bible period, there was an area of one of the cities, and there was an opening, and it was called the eye of the needle. Now check this out. A camel loaded with all the supplies that you would as you're traveling couldn't go through. You had to take all the supplies off. Think of the imagery here. You couldn't get through loaded up with all your stuff.
You had to like get down to your
just
basics.
as you are.
Yeah.
Yes, just you. And you know,
Oh, that's really interesting.
isn't that fascinating? And you watch these behind the music documentaries, and these people that get everything the world ever told them would make them happy. And what do? They end up in drugs. They commit suicide. They're miserable. Why? Because they got everything the world told them would make them happy, and it didn't work. And yet, us dumb people, we keep striving for all of it. We think if I could just get this, I'd be happy. We never learn from all the millions of people that have come before us who got those things and they didn't satisfy.
What do you say to somebody who like doesn't know where to begin? Like maybe there's a part of them inside that is curious about a deeper relationship, but they just don't know where to start, or they don't know anyone who's Christian, or...
Well, they don't need to. God is as close as he is right here. He is as close to you as possible and waiting for you to talk to him. It doesn't have to be a flowery prayer. You don't have to go to church. You don't have to, kneel and rip your clothes and ashes and say some flowery recitation. Talk to him. I want to know you.
Or even like pray about like, help me to talk to you even.
I want to know you. I know that I'm separated from you, but I want to know you. And I believe that's the key. I believe that you loved me enough to send your son to pay a price for me that I could not pay. And I accept that. I'm asking you to apply Jesus' sacrifice to my account. And he will. He promises to.
Did you see Scott Adams? He was like kind of famously battling cancer for like what felt like a couple of years. He was the creator of Dilbert. A lot of people called him like, I don't know, a racist, all the mean words, right? And he like, I think just before he passed said like, I accept Jesus Christ as my savior, and like, said all the things. What do you think of I've seen some people be like, well, you can't just, well, what do you say? Like you live your whole life, however, whatever. And then at the very, very end, you're like, oh, I believe in Jesus Christ now. And you say all the right things. It's like,
well, saying all the right things means nothing. It's all down to the heart.
It's like, what do you believe?
But I don't know, and I would never presume to know. But let me take you to a very famous story right out of the Bible. The crucifixion. Do you remember? Jesus was crucified with a thief on either side of him. And one of them was like, hey, if you're the Son of God, get down off of there and get us down there too. And the other thief says, we're up here because we are guilty. We are here because of the crimes we committed. This man has done nothing wrong. And then he looks at Jesus and he says, Lord, remember me when you come into your kingdom. And Jesus says, today you will be with me in paradise.
Whoa.
Talk about a deathbed confession, right? There it is.
And then the other thief was like, wait, what are you guys talking about?
But the point is, it's all in the heart. There's another passage that said, man looks on the outward appearance, but God looks on the heart. So, and I'll be honest, and I'll be vulnerable in this moment and tell you, I grew up in church. I memorized thousands of scripture verses, and I know all about it. But what matters is what's in the heart. And people can put on airs their whole lives, but there was never really a heart change. I can't know that. Only God knows that.
Did something happen that you like went from just your phase where you were like memorizing, and did you feel like you were going through the motions and then something happened to you and you're like, oh, now I'm really in it, or now I'm much deeper?
Well, I grew up thinking that I was a Christian because my grandfather was the pastor of the church I grew up in. My mom played the piano. I was there every Sunday. I mean, I was in it. So I just assumed I'm in the club, right? I'm got to be in. I mean, goodness gracious, right? How could I not be? And there's a passage in Matthew where the scripture says people will stand before God one day and say, Lord, we cast out demons in your name. We preached in your name. We did all these wonderful things in your name. And God will say, I never knew you. Depart from me. I never knew you.
That seems harsh. That's like when Mariah Carey was like, I don't know her. Wait, who was Mariah Carey talking about in that moment? I think it was. It's such a millennial woman reference. Anyway.
But the point is that it's the heart that matters. The outward trappings mean very little to God. And the other thing I want to say is this: God doesn't owe us anything. You just said a second ago, well, that sounds harsh. Well, it sounds harsh if I did it to you or you did it to him, but we're just people. We're talking about the creator of the universe here, right? He doesn't owe us anything. He doesn't owe us a chance to, he doesn't owe us salvation. He owes us nothing. If one person ever walked through the gates of heaven, God has been more than fair. because none of us deserve anything. He doesn't owe anything to anyone. We tend to think of God in terms of like us. Well, that would be fair.
Huh.
Well, yeah, it would be fair like between people, but we're not talking about people here, you know? I can't imagine God would. Yeah, because that's the way your brain thinks. But we're not the creator of the universe.
What do you say to someone who says, how do you know how God thinks and operates? And
I only know what his word says. I only know what God has revealed about himself in his word. And you know what? It's a lot. God has revealed a great deal about himself, about his love for us, about who we are and what he wants for us, his desire for, it's all there. Like the ragu thing. It's all there. If
what do
people
you
want it,
say
it's all there.
to someone who say like, well, wasn't the Bible written by people, like human beings, like fallible?
The Bible was inspired by God to be written by human beings. If you guys really want to get into that, there are hundreds of prophecies in the Bible written by men hundreds of years before they happened. How could they possibly know that? There are like, did you know that Jesus in his coming fulfilled like 50 prophecies that were written 500 years before he was born? Where he would be born, how he would die, where he would live. I mean, there are so many things that validate the scripture. But again, it comes back to, are you open to believing it, or do you refuse because you want to do things your own way? Because the moment you acknowledge a creator, you must acknowledge accountability to your creator. And that's what people don't want to do.
That's what's scary to people.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, oh, it's not just me. Like someone is like looking at what I'm doing.
They want to call their own shots. They want to be the masters of their own destiny. And to acknowledge that there is a God and that he made them goes against what they want for themselves. And so they refuse. And a lot of the things, even a lot of the religions and scientific things and stuff, all by design try to eliminate God from the equation. Because the moment you acknowledge that there must be a God here, well then what is your accountability to him? And people don't want to be accountable.
Yeah. I mean, I've always believed in God, but like my son being born was like such a huge moment of like, oh my, like it's so obvious.
Yeah.
You're just so overwhelmed.
My wife was the same way. When she was trying to get pregnant, she called out to God. And she had this beautiful boy, and it was one of the moments that really changed her.
Aww.
And here you thought we were going to talk about Full Metal Jacket.
Let's go back to Full Metal Jacket.
I can't help it, you guys. I'm so sorry. I'm not.
I always do this with you.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
But these are important things, and I mean, anime and music and videos and AI and podcasts and all of it is temporary. And we are given a chance to make decisions for eternity right now. We have that chance.
You seem like one of the few actors who is embracing AI and not scared and not worried that it's going to cost you all your job.
Well, I mean, I think I was talking to the Uber driver that brought me from Newark to the hotel. I was talking to him about this. And I said to him, it's really, it's AI is like any other thing. People create something with the greatest of intentions. Social media. The original essence of Facebook. How cool, right?
It was meet people from your college class.
Right, you get to connect with people you knew years ago, or you get to find relatives or whatever. And then certain people get a hold of it and they twist it and pervert it for bad purposes, for evil purposes. It's all the same. Music, it's all the same. The written word, everything. Initially had a great idea. AI, it's amazing what it can do. But invariably, somebody is going to, they already have to a degree, and it's just going to get more so. They're going to take it and they're going to twist it and use it for evil.
Also already self-aware, like it's already helping to write its own code.
Did you see, oh my goodness, speaking of AI, see if you guys can find this. Some guy, I saw this video. Some guy had, I don't remember. I think it might have been Chat GPT, but I'm not sure. But he said, I want to ask you questions and you can only answer yes or no. And if you're not allowed to answer, say nothing. And it started asking questions about God and Jesus. Are there demons? Yes. Is one controlling you? Silence. I'm not being cryptic here or anything. I'm kind of paraphrasing, but the idea was that he asked it these questions, just yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. And it was really, really eye-opening.
Should I ask Grok if a demon? Well, she wouldn't answer my
she would tell you,
question.
Believe in yourself.
Yeah. I was like, stop telling me I'm fine.
Oh my gosh, I just thought of something else I have to say. Can I tell you guys something
else?
Yes. I saw something the other day. A woman met a Satan worshiper. a woman who openly said on the street, they were like out on the street.
Must have been LA.
They were out on the street, like, talking about come to our satanic church. And this woman walked up to this satanic church attendee or whatever, member, and said, I'm really curious, like if I were to come to your church, you get on your knees and worship Satan, and you sing songs to Satan, and you praise Satan, and you know what this woman said? Oh, no. We talk about you do you. You do what you want. You're the most important thing. You do what makes you feel good. Are you hearing this?
Wow.
It's all you-centered. It's all self-centered.
Which what does that also sound like? The entire self-help industry.
But the point is, the enemy of our soul has no problem if you want to talk about religion, and all he wants is to keep you from connecting with God. He doesn't need you to drink chicken's blood. You know what I mean? He doesn't need you to wear black and praise Satan. He just doesn't want you to connect with your heavenly Father.
Whatever distracts you from it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
that's fascinating.
It's so insidious. It's so crafty. In the way that works.
It sounds like feminism. It sounds like a lot of movements, sort of. Yeah, just a lot of different kinds of distractions. It sounds like justification for all your vices, right? Overspending, over drinking, overeating. Just do you, whatever feels good in the moment.
C.S. Lewis wrote an amazing book my wife and I just finished called...
Must have been a great book.
I'm thinking of the title. I'm trying to think of the title. But it's a beautiful allegory where he meets all of these people. They're on this bus, and all of these people, and they're not evil, but they just have all of these parts of their personality or addictions or vices or attitudes that keep them from finding the inner connection to God that they were intended to have. The great divorce.
Ooh,
is what it was called.
Okay, I have to put that on my reading. Matt, put that on my reading list.
Oh, C.S. Lewis is just amazing. He's amazing.
Every time I talk to you, I'm like, I'm not reading enough.
Screw Tape is great too. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Thank you. Who said that?
Drew. Spirit
read
Present.
that one. Screw Tape Letters is another one.
Mere Christianity. I've heard of that.
Screw Tape Letters is amazing. Okay. Screw Tape is the name of this demon that's been assigned to this man.
I'm writing all these down.
Write it down.
I'm writing it down.
Screw Tape is the name of this demon that's been assigned to this man. No. Screw Tape's the uncle, isn't it? Yeah. So, no, Wormwood. Yes. Wormwood is this demon that's been assigned to this human being. And his uncle, Screw Tape, the whole book is his uncle writing him letters on how to deceive this human and how to keep him distracted and how to derail him just enough so that he never finds faith in Christ. And it's so brilliant. And when you read it, you're like, oh my goodness, like it's so
tragic.
relevant. Yeah, but you can just see the crafty ways that the enemy works to just keep you from finding the truth.
Yeah, it is. It's like when you're aware of this stuff, how do you not feel sadness for other people and for
Exactly.
people that are just clouded and like can't get out of their own way?
The hardest thing for me is to feel that for people that are consciously hateful, people that are by volition, like they choose to be, to be hateful and hurtful and destroy others and cause pain to others.
Yeah, like
I struggle with finding, and hey, you know what? Jesus died for them too. And you know what? The reality is he loves them as much as he loves you and me.
yet the same people would call you and I genuinely hateful and all these same things. Well, because we have we voted for Trump or we're Catholic or Christian or, you know what I mean? Like, or I believe XYZ story or article.
Well, a lot of people define hate as disagreeing with them.
Yep. Yeah.
That's not hate. I'm sorry. Disagreeing with you is not hating you. It's not being hateful. And there was a time, I'm old enough to remember it.
Disagree.
I'm way old enough to remember it. There was a time when you could disagree with people and then go have lunch.
Yeah.
And you could talk about disagreements without wanting to destroy their lives.
Yeah, nobody was cutting people out of their family. People weren't breaking up over
and calling their jobs and trying to ruin their lives and keep them from making a living. But that's where we are.
Do you see that trend sort of coming to a close anytime soon? No. Because there's still social media. It's like everything.
Well, if it's not social media, it'll be something else. It's always been something. I mean, throughout time, there's been something.
That's true.
And it's just the technology that people, again, twist for their own purposes. They use it for nefarious reasons or to hurt other people.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's not hopeful, but it's true.
Sorry. I mean, sorry.
Give me some hope, Vic. Let's go to I want to make sure I didn't miss any chats from the peoples. Night Owl, thank you for the 5. I'm sure you get this a lot, but thank you for
wait a
Star
minute.
Trek
Night Owl,
Continues.
thank you.
I love Night Owl.
I love you, Night Owl. Thank you. Star Trek was one of my great loves when I was a little boy. And for those of you that don't know, back in 2013, I started a web series called Star Trek Continues, and it picks up where the original Star Trek series was canceled, and it finishes the show. And I got to play my childhood hero, Captain Kirk. And somebody told me yesterday, Chrissie, that we have over 21 million viewers now, almost 22 million. They told, I don't even look at those numbers. I didn't even know. And he said, do you know that you get like 5,000 to 7,000 views a day?
Wow.
Of your Star Trek episodes? I'm like, you're kidding. Wow. We just made it for love. I mean, we just made it because we wanted to pay tribute to that show. But it was just so humbling that people have enjoyed it.
What was it like channeling Captain Kirk?
Well, it was fun. It was daunting. You know, do you have like a somebody that you really just looked up to and admired and idolized when you were a little kid, when you were a little girl?
Yeah, it was like my diving coach when I was little.
Well, but I mean like a celebrity or somebody on television or in a TV show.
I had a crush on Leo DiCaprio.
No, but I mean a woman. You're like, wow, just somebody that embodied so many great qualities and you loved watching that show or listening to her music? Is there
I mean,
how about you, Matt? Matt, what about you?
hold on, let me see.
Most people do.
I know
may
most
take you
people
a second
do.
to
It's
think of it.
weird that I don't. I mean, a little bit my mom,
also
but
do
she wasn't
something
really
about it.
creating anything other than like, you know, me and my brother.
But somebody
and sister.
somebody who seemed like bigger than life. How about that? You know what I mean? Just
I mean, I had an Ace of Base CD. I don't know. God, maybe this is what's wrong with me is I didn't have. I mean, oh yeah, as an adult for sure, Joan Rivers.
okay. Well, let's let's. This is probably going to be a bad analogy, but you know where I'm going with this. Let's say that somebody calls you tomorrow and says, "We are making the Joan Rivers story, and we want to cast you to play Joan Rivers."
Oh my gosh, I would just be like,
you feel it?
I'm not worthy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You feel it? It's like I love her, and I've always
I
wanted
actually
to be her, but how would I actually?
I was in a Joan Rivers documentary just speaking about her, and they shot it in the city, and they shot me like having a piece of pie in one of her favorite like hangouts, and it was in like the actor, it was in the Broadway district. I forget exactly where. I think it was called Joe Allen's. And I did feel a little bit like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm even involved with this.
But imagine if somebody said, "These are her clothes.
You have to get this amount of plastic surgery. I'd be like, sign me up.
Put them on, and we want you to play this person that you had such great admiration for." That I loved Captain Kirk. I loved Bill Shatner. I loved his interpretation of that character. So the first thought was great excitement. How fun is this going to be? I get to play this character that I've loved so much. And the immediate second thought was, oh no, like what if I don't do it justice? What if I don't do a good job? I want it to be good, and I want to honor that so much. It was very daunting.
What helped you through it?
Just doing my best. Like, this is all I've got to give.
Through it.
I'm going to give it my best. I'm going to give everything I have to this. And people may like it, people may not, but all I can give it is all I've got, you know?
What were your favorite moments from just doing the
Oh,
show?
goodness. Wow.
Too many.
I really enjoyed exploring the character more. William Shatner did an interview years ago where he had said that had they continued the show, he wanted to make Captain Kirk more human, more accessible, you know, relatable. Because back in the 60s, heroes were, you know, they always did the right thing. They always won the day. They always solved the problem. Almost like
Perfect.
yeah,
people.
nobody could ever live up to that. And I wanted to bring in elements in our stories to show a more relatable side of that character.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, that seems like a big piece that was missing. And very, very cool. And it makes me want to watch all of it now. Again, I'm such a bad friend that I haven't watched this.
Well, you are a bad friend, but let's move on.
Oh, I forgot to read the other
I wish I spoke.
the other super chat. Okay. Yeah, from Junior, thank you for the 5. Full Metal Jacket is also my favorite. Could you find a way to adapt that movie into an anime?
Wow.
That's no big deal.
I don't know. I don't have an anime studio or a bunch of animators at my command, unfortunately. What is that top one? Is that
good night, Mister.
Deuce
Deuce
Volt
Volt Vic. I think it's
Is that
Is
German?
it Latin?
or is it is it Latin or German?
Let's ask Grok what it means. Or Matt.
Yeah, you know what?
Right, you're
Isn't that
sitting
from the movie?
You're sitting right here, Matt. What is Deuce?
Grok's woke friend is gonna say, it
Hey,
means
Grok,
whatever you'd
what
like it
does
to mean.
Deuce Volt Vic mean?
It means whatever you want it to mean.
It's not even understanding what I'm saying. And it's writing
The AI has a long
writing-
way to go.
It's writing everything down. It's not only it's writing everything I'm saying. So
It's Latin.
Latin.
Has Vic sung the Simpcast song?
actually, you sent me a recording, you sent me like a Simpcast, like a little
something for you,
ditty.
didn't I? I did.
It might be in the StreamYard. We're not
I
using
did,
StreamYard,
didn't
though.
I?
No, I think it's in the StreamYard.
Oh.
Something Simcast.
Oh, I did it to the
You
Carry
did.
On My Wayward Son.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. You sang me a little ditty. I haven't played it in a while, but it's in my StreamYard buttons. How neat. Oh my gosh. Let me make sure I got to everything I wanted to get to.
No, we didn't get to a lot of things. I derailed us. I apologize.
No, I derailed us. Oh, you just shot a horror film in Phoenix.
Yes. Okay. So I shot this scary, this horror film thriller kind of, and it's called Her Monster. They just finished editing it, and it was one of those great monster movies that's like I don't want to say so bad that it's good, that because it's not bad, but you know what I mean. It's so like over the top that it's like really interesting. It's about this little girl who's kind of an outcast, and her dad's abusive, and kids make fun of her at school, and she has this monster that lives under her bed. You know, kids are always like, "There's a monster under my bed." Well, there really is, and basically the monster is her protector, and he goes after people that hurt her.
Oh, okay.
And so I played this character in it, and I had a great time. It was really fun. Colton Dietz directed it. I've worked with him on a couple of other things, and not only did I play this character, but I'm also going to be sound designing the film, which I love. Sound design is one of my favorite things in the world.
It sounds hard.
Well, I think it's the most important part of any film. Take any movie that you love, take the scariest movie you've ever seen, and mute the volume and tell me if it's scary.
True.
It's not. Take the most romantic
That's why
moment.
deaf people never get scared.
I guess. But, and you know, whatever movie, if you mute the sound, it loses so much of its impact. So I love sound design. And that includes sound effects and creating an environment that may not have even really been there in the original. Sound effects that you put in, sound design, music or musical type elements. Yeah, anything. Yeah, like in that moment, like where somebody's walking down a hallway. And if you just look at the video, you're like, oh, there's somebody walking down a hallway. So, yeah, but then as soon as you add some kind of a heartbeat or some kind of an eerie drone that's getting louder and louder.
Oh
you know
my gosh. Like it's a video game that my stepson made me play, but it has something to do with like liminal spaces, and you just hear like the buzzing of a light or something, or like
talking about the back room?
Oh, the back rooms. Oh, it's the creepiest, worst thing ever.
Yeah.
But just like the sounds, oh my God, it's so creepy.
Colton,
you feel like you're gonna be attacked any moment.
The director I mentioned, Colton Dietz, he also directed a live action short film based on the Silent Hill video games, which are really scary video games. And I played this character in it who apparently is in the video games. And I sound designed that as well. And adding all of these little eerie elements to it really brings it alive.
Wow.
You know, and makes it much more scary and dramatic.
How did you learn to do that?
Oh wait, my wife just texted.
Oh, why?
Let's see
Call
what
her up.
Let's
No,
see
you
what
don't
she has
have
to
to.
say. Oh my goodness, I love you, darling.
Oh, what did she say? She send you a nude?
I think this should be private.
Show us the nude.
I'm going to show you. Look what she wrote me.
Oh, she's so sweet.
She is. She's
but she
the
didn't say anything
greatest.
about me.
She's
in
the
text.
greatest. Can you text something about Chrissie, honey? Will you text something about Chrissie?
No, I'm gonna get a pity text. It's fine. It's fine.
Wait, she's texting.
Oh,
Doing
good.
it.
Oh, good. Okay, I'm waiting for my compliment.
Here it comes. Here it comes. Dot.
Better
Ellipsis.
be
Ellipsis.
good. Here we
I love her too. Total Joan Rivers. See?
That's it. I need to get more work done so I can fully become what I'm meant to be. I love Joan Rivers. She's so great.
Happy
How
Valentine's Day again, sweetheart. I adore you.
Hey, I'm so happy you found like the love of your life. And like,
And you know what? I want to say this. I just felt led to say this. A lot of difficult things have happened to me. And I've talked with my wife about this a lot. And and we have decided that had they not happened, I might not have ever connected with her. I might not have been in a place emotionally or even physically in a place where we would have reconnected. And I would have missed that gift from God. You want to talk about things that God might have had that you missed because you're over here doing your thing. I feel like she is probably the greatest. And I told you the story of how we reconnected.
Yeah.
Which is a total God. I didn't even tell you how she ended up. She was from Houston. She grew up in Houston. Houston was her town. She was going to leave Houston, and and I lived in Dallas. So we're doing this long distance thing, and then God orchestrated the events that she moved to Dallas.
oh,
And I mean, so even though there were a lot of heartbreaking, difficult things that have happened to me, I can't help but believe, I choose to believe that God orchestrated them to bring me to her, bring her to me. And I am so incredibly grateful.
oh,
Wait,
I love it. I
she
wonder.
texted again. No matter what I'm doing, I have to stop.
No, I love that she's heckling our podcast. This is great.
She's not heckling. She's encouraging.
She's sending
called you
you
Joan
wonderful
Rivers.
messages. No, I love it. That's so great. Vic, where can people find you and follow you and see you out on the tour?
If you're in the New York, New Jersey area, I'll be as I said, with Tiffany Bulma from Dragon Ball and Chi-Chi, Cynthia Krantz at the 34th Street Card Show tomorrow. And then
I guess it's on 34th Street. I'm just taking a wild guess.
Wasn't there a miracle there once?
There was a miracle right on 34th Street.
And then at the end of February, I'm going to be at the Brazoria County Comic-Con. And then Pop Culture Con you mentioned in March. And then I'm going to be in Corpus Christi at the end of March. Here's the thing, you guys. I always put out a little video promo, letting people know about a show that I'm going to be at. And so if you don't follow me on social media, I hope you will. I'm on Instagram, obviously, and Twitter and Facebook. So any announcements of events that I'm going to be at, I will post there. And if you see that I'm going to be anywhere around, come and say hello. I'd love to meet you in person. And also, I would be remiss not to say, if you have an event in your area, a Comic-Con or a convention, and you'd like to have me there as a guest, you and as many of your friends as possible write the staff of those events and ask them to have me as a guest. I would love to join you. And in the meantime, I hope you'll check out the music video that I made for my wife for Valentine's, and thank you so much for I've been very blessed over the years, 25 years that I was a voice actor, over 400 different shows, and it was a great privilege. It was a great joy. I love that work. You know, the most fun part about voice acting is you get to play characters that you'll never get cast as on screen.
I thought it was you don't have to wear pants to work.
Well, I don't know if that's true or not, but I do know that I've played a lot of characters that if they made a movie of that show, They're not casting me. Like Edward Elric. I mean, he's a 15-year-old kid, you know. I'm not going to get that role. And Broly is 7 feet tall and 400 pounds muscle.
You'd
I'm
have
not
to
going to
get
get
that leg
guy.
lengthening surgery, and that sounds
Hello,
painful.
AI.
Right, AI, of course. Yes, everyone check out Vic's new music video, Up There, Down Here.
And keep your eyes open for Her Monster.
Yes.
Colton is posting things often about the progress of the production. Her Monster movie. Check that out. I just finished a new audiobook.
Ooh.
I've done 7 or 8 now.
Wow.
It's a great book. I did a book for a great author named William Hastings a few years back called The Crimson Spark. It's a fantasy adventure novel, amazing book. Would make a great movie.
Ooh.
And I did the book and I finished it and he was very pleased. And then I found out that he was writing a second book, a continuation in the series called The Opal Embers. And I did the audio book for that. And then he wrote a third book called The Cerulean Flare. I just finished recording that one.
Wow.
And he's already got a 4th volume. And all the books follow these 2 kids in their adventures, and the entire world is fictitious.
Is it the
it's
one
like,
color? Is it like because he has like a color theme?
No, I don't even know if that's the case or not. But I know that it's kind of like Harry Potter meets Lord of the Rings. It's like
Cool.
It's like an entirely created, like Middle Earth, or an entirely created world with magic and imaginative creatures, exotic creatures, and amazing worlds and great
Cool.
stories and characters.
I love that. My gosh. Vic,
And StarTrekContinues.com. Pew, pew.
check that out too. You're crazy talented, incredibly humble.
Well, thank you, Miss Rivers.
Oh my God.
I love all your work.
I just have
You're
nothing.
my favorite comedian. Did I tell you that?
I have nothing negative to say about you. And I can't even do a Joan Rivers voice. Look at that.
You better get ready, because if you're going to get cast. Wait, my baby.
It better be another compliment about me. Everyone follow Vic follow him on all the things. Follow his beautiful wife, Dominique Sachet. Am I saying her name right?
Saxa.
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 She's also incredible too. We love them. And everyone watch Full Metal Jacket. Yes. Thank you guys for watching.
She wrote,
NightMayr.
great job, you 2. Now get some rest.
Oh yes, we have to call an Uber for Vic now. Thank you for watching, guys, and we'll see everybody next week. Actually, we're gonna have Bill Schultz in studio. I forget what Thursday. So we'll see you guys back here then. Love you all. Bye.
Take care.
Full Metal Jacket.